Hi everyone, so I thought I'd show you me carving these couple of pumpkins that I've got. They've both got a little weird patch on the back of them which is a bit wrinkly. These are some that I grew in my garden, and these are like a smaller variety, and in real life they look more orange than they do on camera. On camera they look really yellow for some reason, but in real life they are orange pumpkin coloured, just like a very pale orange. And so I decided to cut the backs off where the funny wrinkling is occurring. I'm assuming that's where they're going to start to break down and rot eventually. As you can see, I did pick these too early. I haven't had this variety before. The giant variety start off green and then turn orange, and then they're ready to pick. So it's dead easy to tell when to pick those, whereas these ones grow yellow and then just slightly darken over time to a light orange. So it was hard to judge when to pick these, and obviously I've picked them too early, but never mind. Next time what I'll do is I'll plant the pumpkin plants out earlier in the season and pick them a little bit later if I can, depending on how they go. Last year's pumpkins I only got one, but it was like the giant ones, and then the year before my crop failed, so I was quite pleased I got 3 in the end. The tiniest one is on my altar space because it's a perfect pumpkin shaped little orange pumpkin. It's just the right size for my altar and looks perfect, so I've put that on my altar as an offering. So I'm going to leave that one there, but these two are mine to carve as jack-o'-lanterns. And I'm using my craft knife because it's a bit easier to get the finer detail. I know in the States you can get like pumpkin carving kits, and we do get them over here, but they're rubbish. They tend to be from the pound shop, so I've found that like the metal on them, it's really thin, like the little saw to like get all the details, and I find it just breaks, so I'm not bothering. I'm just using my craft knife instead because I can get a lot more detail with that and do it that way. So as you can see, I'm starting off with the eyes, and I'm just scooping out as much as I can, and any bits I can't reach I'm just using my other knife, my kitchen knife, to get those bits off. And I'm just making sure I get the edges as neat as I can. It's not going to be 100% perfect because I tend to just do sort of traditional pumpkin carving, like, you know, this classic kiddie pumpkin type carving. I don't tend to do like the realism or anything, so obviously I'm just going for something quite basic. I just like to enjoy making the pumpkins. I'm not bothered about carving or learning how to carve. Carving's never something I've done much of. So as you can see, I'm just refining the shapes and adding some little eyebrows. I like to try and add eyebrows if I can, to add a little bit of expression to the pumpkin. So that was the little one, and obviously what I'll do is when it's evening I'm going to put LED candles in these, and I'll show you what they look like once the candles are actually in place when it's a bit darker. So you'll see that at the end of the video. So this is the bigger one, and it's got a wrinkly patch at the back which is like bulging out a bit. It's a bit strange, but luckily for both of these, when I actually took the back off and opened them up, there's no hints of mould or any problems inside, so I think they were just picked a bit early and then left on my countertop for a bit too long, but they're going to work fine for what I want, so no bother. I found this one was a lot easier to scoop the insides of than the first one. The first one, it was a bit tougher, but like I said, I think I picked him too early. And try and get, when you do scrape them out, I'm sure everyone knows how to carve a pumpkin, but when you do scrape them out, try and get the base as flat as you can with your spoon, just so it's easy to balance your candle in place afterwards. And then it's just a case of tidying up my desk and finishing off carving the face into this. I discovered with this one, the way I'd cut the back out, you could I could have have it on my table for Halloween, and this could be like the mouth, and I could stick like plastic teeth in there and then have like sweets inside or something. So maybe I'll try that idea next year, but for this year I'm just going to have it as a standard jack-o'-lantern with the lighting. I did scoop the stuff off the back because I was going to put the back on it, but it didn't fit like the other one, so I just left it open at the back, but it still works just like a tea light holder, so no problem. For this one I went for the more traditional jack-o'-lantern with the triangle eyes and nose, and then the grinning mouth. And what I tend to do is I score with the knife the shape that I want the mouth to be, and use that as my guide. And I like to have the corners of the mouth go right up just past the bottom of the eyes, so it looks like a really big wide evil grin. And you'll also see I add some eyebrows onto this one as well, but they're angry looking eyebrows, just to add to that sort of frowny, angry, spooky pumpkin look. And then I've just finished, as you can see, carving out the mouth. I had to switch to my kitchen knife for this one because the skin on this one was actually really thick. I was quite impressed. So I'm hoping this one will last a long time. So here's me just carving out the angry looking eyebrows that I wanted. And there you go. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to tidy up my desk and everything, and then I'll show you what the pumpkins look like in the dark. Okay, so this is what the pumpkins look like in the dark, and they've got colour changing LED candles in them. Obviously I don't want to use real candles in them because there's nothing worse than the smell of burning pumpkin, and also it's a fire hazard, so I always use little LED tea lights instead, and I find they do the job well, and also you can have the novelty of having the colour changing and everything. And sorry about that, some motorbikes going past, and because obviously they're LED, they're not going to get hot or anything and cause problems with the pumpkin, and I found the heat makes the pumpkins go manky quicker anyway. So that's it, that's my pumpkins, and hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.